Welcome back. This is video 2. We're going to be going over cell structure and functions. We went over a few minor terms that you guys needed to know: biology, organism, cells. We went over the levels of organization, which was cells make up tissue, tissues make up organs, organs make up organ systems, and organ system makes up organisms, which is us. In our last video, we also drew the cell and what organelles were contained within the cell. Now, we didn't go over all of them. We went over the main important ones. So today, in this video, video 2, we will be discussing those cell parts or organelles and what exactly it is that they do. Now, the first one that we will be discussing is the cell membrane. And the cell membrane is what surrounds the cell. So this surrounds the cell. And I will just draw the circle. And so this is the cell membrane. Now, what else does it do? It doesn't just surround the cell. It also has a purpose. And that purpose is what we call our homeostasis, maintaining that homeostasis of our cell. So it actually controls what goes in and what goes out of the cell. So it is a huge control system for our cells. So this controls what enters. This controls what leaves the cell. Okay, so now I did say it maintains homeostasis, which is absolutely true. So we need to also make sure we know that it maintains homeostasis. And homeostasis, if you guys remember from class, if you're new here, hi. Homeostasis is what keeps our cell balanced. So this is our balance system. Another main important function of the cell membrane is that it recognizes. So it recognizes other cells. And that's important because that goes back to controlling what enters and leaves the cell. So if there's another cell that's coming around and it has something to give us, then it recognizes that we need that from that cell, and our cell will allow that substance to enter. Also, we talked about the cytoplasm. Now, the cytoplasm is the jelly-like fluid inside of our cell. So it's the jelly-like fluid inside the cell. And I will draw that. And we will color in. Now, this pen wasn't working yesterday. All right. So that would be all this pink stuff would be our cytoplasm. That is the jelly-like fluid inside the cell. So what exactly does the cytoplasm do? I mean, it's just not there for no reason. So what exactly it does is it suspends our organelles in place. So it suspends organelles. It also is enclosed within that cell membrane. So it's inside here. It's not going to go anywhere. It's here. Now the only way that it would come out of the cell is if our cell goes through a Lytic cycle from being infected by a virus. And that Lytic cycle is going to kill our cell and burst it open. And we haven't gotten to that part yet. but we will eventually. So this cytoplasm is this jelly-like fluid inside the cell that suspends our organelles. Another important organelle, one that is very critical to our cells, is our nucleus. Now our nucleus is inside of our cell membrane, and so I will draw it here. This is our nucleus. And what does our nucleus do? Well, our nucleus is our brain of the cell. So this is our brain of the cell. And it actually controls all of our cells' activities. So this is the control system. What else does it do? It actually has a very another important function, and that is that it contains our genetic information. And so our genetic information is what our chromosomes are made of. So it contains chromosomes made of DNA. And what exactly is DNA? We're going to learn about it, but I will tell you that it is this very long word, deoxyribonucleic acid. That is DNA. And DNA is very important because, like I said, it contains our genetic information. And every single cell in our body contains this genetic information. And whether it's used or not, it's there no matter what. So your heart cell contains all your genetic information. Your brain cells contain all your genetic information. Your eye cells, your mouth cells, your skin cells, your hair cells. Every single cell on your body contains this genetic information. It has to. And so that is why our nucleus is very important. Now, another structure that we talked about is the mitochondria. So what exactly is our mitochondria? Well, our mitochondria is the powerhouse of our cell. What do I mean by it's the powerhouse of our cell? Well, if you ever wonder why all of a sudden you might have a lot of energy one day or you might be tired, well, that is due to our mitochondria. Our mitochondria makes our ATP. And what is ATP? ATP is adenosine triphosphate. And this is our energy. This is what our body makes. So this is our energy. This is what keeps us going when we have to. And so how does it get our energy? Well, it gets our energy by the food we eat. So it breaks down food. To release this energy. And so these are the functions of the mitochondria. It is the powerhouse of our cell. So if you can remember that our mitochondria, this little gadget here, is our powerhouse, that it makes all of our energy, then you will be good to go. Now, the next two organelles that we're going to be talking about are the endoplasmic reticulums. And there are two of them. We have the smooth, which is just simply smooth. There's nothing to it. It's just smooth. And so what does it do? Well, if you remember from the last video, I said it makes important hormones. So it makes hormones. It also makes our fat. And our fat is called lipids. So it makes lipids. And lipids are fats. And we will learn that when we go through our biomolecule phase. And so that is simply all the smooth endoplasmic reticulum does. And if you remember from the last video, I said we abbreviate that ER because it is a mouthful. And as scientists, we like to be as precise and not say so much, I guess, as possible. So next is our rough. Why do we call it the rough? Well, if you remember, I started to draw all these dots, or I did draw all these dots on the